Cards are beside me, so we're gonna grab some messages. For anyone who sees this who hasn't seen me do a reading before, what we do is I connect with, and you can call it what you want, the universe, source, our guides. Your higher self will come into play if you have something on your heart that you're thinking about when you come across this video, whether you're going to see me live or you're going to see this later and be, urged to watch it by your intuition. It could be your higher self coming through that wants to say something to you. So we're just going to use my channel. I'm going to get out of the way and we're just going to see what you need to hear right now. I say the biggest thing, if you've never had a reading with me, and I highly recommend a one-to-one because they're really freaking fun. I'm an activation. I'm an energy that when you channel it through, you're going to get exactly what you need. And so many of my clients, the people who feel that urge to book with me, are those of you who are right on the cusp of something. You're right on the edge of reaching your most empowered place in life, if I can put it any other way. And we'll go through these ebbs and flows in life, let me tell you. But you're going to hit these moments in life where you've got to just freaking do it. And that's likely when your peeps, your guides, your higher self, the universe, is going to answer your questions through me if you're within my vicinity. You know what I mean? If we're connected in that way, and I'm here to be a channel for you, that's how you're going to know, because you're going to be really on the cusp of something and you just need a spark, an activation, some fire, so you just can go ahead and do it. Speaking in just really human terms, it's confidence, right? You need that activation, that support, that love, even to take that next step. And sometimes we're so muddied by the circumstances in front of us, things feel impossible, right? Sometimes you're just stuck and you're just like, or you're bored, or you're depleted, or, and you're just like, I need, or I want to feel activated. I want to feel seen. I want to feel supported. And maybe you don't even know initially that you're being fired the frick up to take that next step that really will get you the next step and the clarity of the next step and the next step. But yeah, it's, people are always delighted and surprised after we do these. So I should get shuffling. I've got a bag down here, so you're going to see me disappear for a sec while I grab some cards. I like to intuitively be guided on which deck. So as you're holding in your heart the questions that might be there, the things you're ruminating on in your mind, if you're thinking of that as you're watching this video, you're going to activate, because time and space, it's just constructs that we play with, and you're going to activate me to pull from the deck that you need to hear. So collective messages, also discernment, okay? Disclaimer on discernment. Please, when you're watching any of my videos, make sure that you're tuning in, really, see, I'm even like, let's just take a breath. You want to tune in. You want to take a big breath in and a big exhale out. And you want to feel that connection to the earth. You want to feel right from your root right into the earth. Oh, I've got a hummingbird here, if that's a symbol for anyone. And also on the inhale, I want you to feel that connection to the universe, to your source, right? To your higher self, to your guides. And I want you to pull that in, and I want you to pull up from the earth, and I want you to arrive right here and ask yourself if parts of the message for you, all the messages for you, where this can take you, and really be holding those things that are in your heart and your mind as you receive the messages that come through. And you'll know from that too if you need to book further, and if we need to have a one-to-one and you're ready for more of that fire. So anyway, I'm going to grab from my big bag of cards some cards. And actually, I'm going to use this deck. There's actually two decks in here, playing cards, and that's what's going to get the channel started. And I'll share with you any pictures I get or however things come through so that you can discern what it means to you. Sometimes I get symbols and things, so you'll know if they're for you. All the jokers are both decks out. And we'll just move this so I can shuffle. Now to that side. Okay, I'm just gonna close down my eyes for a moment. Feel free to do the same as you're breathing and just connecting in if it's relevant. Definitely seeing someone chewing bubblegum in my mind's eye right now, so it could be just an activation of playful energy, could be literal. Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, we've got some real energy here of wanting to move on, of seeing the ideas, the possibilities, and really wanting to bring those forward. And looking even at more deeply who we are and how we want to show up. The number 14 also might be relevant to you. I am seeing 1414 right now on my clock, so that's pretty cool. And I'm really seeing that there's a need to look deeper within. So whether you're experiencing a pull to do that already, or maybe that's what's coming for you, that's the energy that's kind of ruminating around you right now, is like, I'm ready to see things differently. I'm ready to do things differently. And most of all, I'm ready to see where I've maybe been hiding for myself, which coincidentally enough, as I'm talking to you about who's for me, this is exactly the picture of who is for me. The person who, they have a strong sense of self, even when it's in the negative. You know what I mean? They have a strong sense of even duty and connection to self. And sometimes that deep strength, like I said, can go awry and overthinking before taking action, or doubting self before taking action, or stubbornly taking different actions than we really should to get to those goals. But there is a strong sense of looking at what it is we think about ourselves that either depletes or activates that energy within us that allows us to take steps. And I can feel it really deep within that that's exactly where you're at, and that's exactly what you need, is that you want to wake up and be able to be motivated by your dreams and goals, and not hold yourself back with overthinking it, or hold yourself back with being too controlling. Maybe you're that person who has been a bit too bossy in different situations, or a bit too strong for the situation, so it seemed. But really, you were calibrating, you were learning the difference between magnetism and the more I want to use forceful or obvious choices. And you're learning how to connect who you are in this human right now, in the circumstances and situations, relationships, and places that show up, and being the soulful being and the strength that you came here to share with others and do, but to be, and there's that balance between the doing and the being that I see lots of us kind of struggle with. And I can see that here in what's coming forward right now. And the call to the universe to be like, hey, I want this to be different. I want to see the changes materialize in my life. I want to be connected AF and taking the easy route, so to speak. Not that you're not willing to work, but that there's more than meets the eye, sort of, than maybe what is showing up. So I want to grab a couple other decks, but I definitely want to know, whoever hears this video, sees this video, where that's landing for you, and if any of that is speaking to your soul, or maybe your message is yet to come. I'd love to know. And definitely tag me in any comment. I'm going to pull one of these. This is the Animal Spirit deck by what's her name? Colette Baron Reed, I think. Anyway, so I'm gonna grab one of these, just see what they have to say. Since there was a hummingbird out here as soon as I started, you'll have to let me know if hummingbirds have any symbolism to you. I definitely healers coming to mind when they show up, and I happen to have a feeder right there, so I've been enticing them over. You know what I mean? Now is a lucky time. That feels really good. And take the lead. right? Seeing those kings and queens come forward for you today, I feel that this is something you know within you. And whether you've been afraid to look at it, because who doesn't first start, these true leaders, I mean, we're all leaders in so many different areas, but people who have this strong pull towards that kind of thing tend to face imposter syndrome and go, well, who am I to, I got this, I got that. And then we go into those places in our mind. But now is a lucky time. And the number 49 or 58, fives, nines, fives, eight, fours and nines, fives, eights could be relevant as well. So we've got the stag spirit and the rabbit spirit showing up for us. And one thing I really love about these guys is there's a sense of determination on both of their faces. And there's a sense of, well, with the luck and the baby bunnies, with the rabbit and the fruitfulness, I love that. The wings that I see there, the feather, yeah. So take the lead. It really gives that whole magnetism vibe. There's another hummingbird back of, you go first. The universe is there for you. So take the lead. Ooh, I'm getting emotional. So this is really for someone here, maybe multiple someone's here, because this isn't an uncommon thing that I hear of and have seen within my own self, is like, you get to decide the path because you go first. That's how the universe knows exactly where you are headed and how they can support you. Because up until the moment of your free will, where you take an action and you just freaking do it, small things even, until you do that, you haven't given your free will to the universe to say yes. Yes, please. Right? We can think it. We can feel it in our heart. But until we move and express our free will of yes, please, there's only so much, and there's lots that shows up, but those precise steps to keep you going, those synchronicities to keep you going in the right direction, come from you taking that step, taking the lead, right? And that doesn't just mean a leader in some form in your business, in your home life, leading others. It means taking the lead with spirit. It means taking the lead, so much emotion there, with your soul, right? With all of you, physical, spiritual. You are a soul in this human body. You have lived many lifetimes and you will live many more. I feel you. My channel gets really emotional and in one-to-ones really fired up when people are on the edge. So someone who sees this video, whether you're here now or you see it later, it's you that I'm speaking to. You're on the edge. You're right there. This is the answer to your question, that thing that was on your heart, your mind. And it's a lucky time. It's always a lucky time. You know why? Because when you go, you bring all of you and your magnetism with you. Now, I know it's not always rainbows and butterflies when we take leaps. But the universe is always showing up for you. One of the things I've learned on the way is it's always a yes. And I don't want to oversimplify problems and issues because, dudes, I get it. I get it. And I've had my fair share. But if it's always a yes, you get to lean into hope and curiosity and see what else is possible and how you can use your free will to magnetize the things that you do want and need. Okay. I do feel the urge to shuffle a little tarot for us here. And then I want to leave you, with not too much more, because this is plenty. This is plenty of energy for you to sit with and experience. And please let this be an invitation. If you're not a regular meditator, or if you struggle with that, listen to this video while you take long, slow breaths, connected breaths. And I even want to say whisper, sweet love to yourself, like loving words to yourself as you feel the vibration and the energy in the message. Sometimes that's why you're here too. Okay? So I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards. You're going to feel your feels and take this as an opportunity to meditate. That's where that was going, if it's not something you get to do in your regular day. But I highly recommend it, because it's a space and time for those of you who set aside time for a meditation practice. It's a space and time where you have permission to just be with you. And so far, the cards have been showing me that that's where you're going to connect deeper and deeper with your confidence, with the truth of who you are. Because honestly, the rest of the day, we spend a lot of time reflecting and projecting and receiving in the situations and relationships that we're in. And that's perfectly beautiful. But you're human, your physical health and wellness, your mental health and wellness, and your soul's connection are best healed and helped and felt in those quiet moments where you let go of everything else and you just sit with yourself. And the emotion there is because I know you need it. I can feel. As a matter of fact, I see a lot of souls, higher selves, getting quite excited about this idea. So if it sparks you, JFDI, just freaking do it. Okay, a couple tarot cards. We'll see what else comes out. Grab this deck. It's a beautiful deck. And don't forget, if you're showing up later in this video, maybe you missed the first few minutes, I have a link in the comments. I would love to do a private reading for you. It shows up right in your messenger inbox. The instructions are there when you purchase it, I hope. But yeah, you can email or message me and I send you a video of your reading. I also do live on Zoom. I'm not sure what link I have down there. That's why. But my website, which I can put in the comments after, has a few options. And we can connect live, even on Zoom. And it's really freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie. Energy of, even that vibe of thinking about things, thinking about what's next, thinking about, I do have the urge to say, there are those deeper wishes. Sometimes we just kind of, stand on, this is a weird way to put it, but the precipice of life, whatever that is for you, staring out your kitchen window as you're washing the dishes, just closing your eyes, we're in the shower, just kind of staring at your phone and scrolling. And you have those moments where you say, hey, what about this, kind of to the universe? And you have so much to share. And I feel like they want to make this really hit home. You have so much to share. And we all have that in different ways in our lives, our experience, our stories. And we often take our stories and what we have to share for granted, going back to that sort of feeling of imposter syndrome of like, who am I to do this? Who am I to gift this? Or, and soul sees you and says, but you are, your experience, where you've been, who you are, your vibe is something to be shared because it is unique to you, right? We're all humans. We have a lot of similarities physiologically. We have all these connections genetically. We have a lot that's the same. But your unique imprint, your vibration, your energy is unique to you. The frequency that you put out into the world is meant to be felt by others. Some of us in a small way with our family and friends and close relationships. Some of us, we really exude a frequency when we light up at the workplace, right? In connections with friends, in connections of helping in helping situations, but you have something here, and it's an answer to, funnily enough, what you might not realize is those things that you ruminate about in your heart and your mind in those quiet moments. The answer is you sharing you and your impression of the world and the experience that you've had in different situations in your life. Now more than ever, and I'll tell you, lining up planetarily, with the cosmos and what is being experienced by humanity, now is the time to share your story, because if nothing else, people are awakened by authenticity. They're activated, and they need that, right? And you need that. You have something to share, and it is the answer to your question. It is the answer to your question. Some of you, it'll be things you pass down through the generations, and some of you, it's going to feel new and fresh. And all of that is the answer you've been looking for. And it's funny because the answer that we're looking for often comes from a question we didn't even ask. I find that in sessions so much, and they're really showing me that here. So that's always why I recommend journaling too, because it can help you uncover, and that's why I love the cards too. Like, it can really help you uncover those deeper questions, because with those deeper questions from within, a lot of us, because of programming and conditioning in life, we turn off those deeper questions because we have to be focused on making the money and doing the to-do list and all the things that keep us alive and safe as humans. And there's so much going on to pull our energy in the world and take our focus away. And so then we stop asking those deeper questions of self about change and growth and what's possible for me and what's possible beyond the circumstance that I'm in. Even if I love the circumstance I'm in, sometimes we forget to ask what else is even possible and how can more of my dreams come alive, right? Who sits and thinks about that all day? But that's what your soul wants you to think about as much as possible. And that's where journaling and meditation really get to come in and give you that space to do that. I know my girlfriend, when I mentioned journaling, like for her, it's like, well, what am I going to journal about? Right? Like, I don't have anything to write. She doesn't have the questions come through the way that I do, but she's getting better at it. So I think what they're sharing there is practice. Sometimes just putting the pen to paper and asking yourself to just let go onto that paper. You'll be surprised what comes out and what you can learn about how you really feel and see the world around you. And you'll start to recognize, well, that's what I would like to see different, or what else is possible there. And it cracks open your heart to magnetize just so much more and even more of what you want in your experience, irregardless of whatever you're experiencing right now. So that's cool. And I just thought you should know. Journaling and meditation are really incredible. And I love to use the cards, as you've seen here, obviously, because they really just help me play within the channel. Because what stops you is thinking about it, which is funny because as a kid, I had to learn to think before I spoke because, I was rowdy and I said a lot of things. I like to talk then just as much as I do now, with no filter or frame of reference for what I was saying. So that's fun. But so the cards really keep me in that playful place so that I can continue to be curious and have hope and look deeper. Because let me tell you, there was definitely a time where I had no questions. All I knew was the truth of being cursed. You know what I mean? I had made that decision. So I invite you into the realm of possibility whether you use tarot cards, journaling, meditation, or some other awesome thing that you do to spend time with you, to discover more of you so you can be you at a greater capacity with more energy and zest and in the frequency of being a magnet to everything you desire, then do that, because that's all I want for you. Okay, I'm gonna go. My girl is outside playing basketball with a new hoop, and I suck, and I think I want to try and get some baskets in. We'll see. Wish me luck. I'll talk to you in the comments. I'll see some of you on Zoom. I'll see some others in your inbox. Click that linky link, and I'm going to throw my website in here too. I know Facebook doesn't always like the links, and maybe it won't get distributed, but you know what? I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust that if I put it in there, 2:34 on the clock, that is perfectly perfect. Okay, I love you. Go slay the day.